wash my soul in the ocean, in the tears of God, I let it go.
Hello, my astrology family. This is Lada from astrolada.com, and these are your October 2021 video horoscopes for all the 12 signs. And by the way, October will be a very fascinating month because we have 4 planets turning direct, which is very positive to some extent because it means many areas of your life will start moving ahead in a positive direction without surprises and complications. So we expect a big turn of the winds happening in October. But if you want to have more specific predictions for your personal chart only, you can check for free your personal transits on my free transit calendar. You can see a video out of it here. And each transit is specific for you. No one else in the world will have them at the same time as you. So you can really follow what's exactly happening, like a professional astrologer will do it for you from my transit calendar, which is for free for everyone. And now enjoy the 2021 October videos. Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, October 2021. Cancer, I have a lot of good news. But the month will feel a bit more internal, a bit more focused on family and your private emotions, but still very busy. And we always have to look how the new moons go in that month because you are the moon, you're ruled by the moon, and by it we can judge for the next 30 days ahead. And there is a new moon happening in Libra, which is your 4th house, around the 6th. So the first week of October, look at it here. And it's with the sun, moon, you, and that will set the tone for the rest of the month for you. Mars and Mercury, very busy. You'll be very busy because both Mercury and Mars are very fast planet. They like action, they like movement. And a lot of this is showing almost for some of you a new beginning in your home, in your family, connected to property, to place of living, that you're doing, that you're very busy fixing there, or it even because the whole month Mercury and Mars are together there, it's more likely to have fighting with your family, to be more emotionally explosive because it's in your 4th house of feelings, to just to burst like volcano from time to time and say some very strong words. And I would advise you, in order to disperse this energy, if you can, to spend a bit more time alone, because this is a house where you need a little bit of time from time to time, to withdraw in your own safety, in your own security, where you're not being provoked by others, even to switch off your internet devices from time to time, because you can feel emotionally very triggered this month by what others are writing online. Because Mercury is online, you're the moon, of course, and your emotions, and Mars is like you might enter into fights with others because of that. And your 4th house is again your feelings, your emotions, so you can feel unsettled because of that. And instead, maybe do some active time with your family. If you don't want things to explode with your family, that you have, especially you might have some important conversations you're doing because Mercury is retrograde there, bringing things from the past, trying to change the rules, trying to change the especially if there's something you're dissatisfied, how your family is treating you, how the responsibilities and the roles in the family situations are being played out. So you might have such important developments happening where you're trying to, Mercury retrograde, to discuss, to change, to say, let's set new rules. I know my husband is Cancer and he'll be dealing a lot with family and my family, but all extended family is the 4th house. Because we're building a house together. We are decorating it the whole of October, November. So it's already playing out for his sun sign that he has to deal a lot with property, 4th house, with the place of living, very active. We'll be going every day buying stuff. But my dad wants to impose what he wants because it's our house, but my dad is doing it. And I can see already the conflict starting to shape up and to form. So I don't know, you have some release in all such situations. It's coming from Jupiter because the whole time during this month, while Mars and Mercury are together in your 4th house, where there is a lot of stresses, actions, things that you need to complete, to finish, and new things that you're beginning connected to home, to property, to place of living, to family, to parents. Jupiter is making a trine. So despite those little stresses and delays, Mercury retrograde, especially till the 18th, delays with matters connected to your private life, property, family, um, despite of the anger that can be there as well, and the changes that are happening, because the new moon indicates something new is starting there as well. Mercury retrograde, you're completing something old there as well. You need to fix something there, but all of those traces there's a relief from Jupiter. And Jupiter is, basically the planet of forgiveness. Despite of those things, you'll be able to forgive more easily. Others will be able to forgive you more easily. The family members, there will be ways to find and whatever happens is for the best. When Jupiter is holding a trine there, it's the best planet. It's like, even if you have to eliminate certain member of your family, in a sense, even cut contact with them, because Mars conjunct retrograde Mercury in your fourth house, it might mean things escalate so much that you need to cut the cord with someone for a little bit, and that will be for the best, because Jupiter is giving you the higher perspective of your higher mind and of God, and almost like divine beings. Jupiter rules angelic beings, or those that help us from the invisible worlds, those like our teachers, our guardian angels. They're directing things from the invisible realms, because Jupiter is also in the 8th house of the deceased. They're aligning things for the best. So don't, again, try not to be too hurtful to family members and them to you, but there'll be a way out to do it in a more humane, in a more altruistic matter, and to solve problems that appear there in humane, altruistic matters, because of deep insights that you have at the same time. And also there can be some support that comes to your family from hidden resources. Jupiter is in the 8th house of resources that come to you from others. So if you have some investments, if you have some, they can be in matters connected to home, family, property. They can be, for example, if you're on the stock market, you can make more money that month. By the end of October, especially when Jupiter turns direct after the 18th. And that can help your family and stabilize the situation with your home and property. Fourth house is all immovable property, whether it's houses, actually in ancient astrology, it's even cars, and the overall situation of your family. So some hidden money or some hidden emotional, psychological support can help you solve those issues. Plus, 8th house is to be with an astrologer, with an occultist, with a psychologist, with a counselor, and they can give you a great, sorry, a ship is passing with crazy music. It's very Cancer, a beautiful old ship, but some gypsy music. I hope it's not interfering. But some maybe working with a psychologist or with a counselor or with an astrologer, or using astrology. You don't have to work with someone. You can use astrology. Jupiter in the 8th house is astrology, to calm yourself emotionally, to solve some problems. And plus, for example, till the 18th, if you're trying to sell or buy property, they might, or fix a property, things might be a bit delayed. But after the 18th of October, for example, things start moving ahead. Maybe I told my husband that I think we're probably going to move in after the 18th of October, because we were planning 15, but when I saw Mercury retrograde in the 4th house, it's going to be after the 18th. Or if you're trying to close a deal for property or something, some documents with parents or whatever, it might take a bit longer, but don't worry, even if it's prolonged, it's for the best, because you arrange it better. Maybe if your plans fall through for a certain property or what you want to do, or you have to redo it, and there can be a lot of changes. You change plan B, C, D while Mercury is retrograde. We're gonna put this, no, we're gonna put that, oh no, this looks like that, no, we have to fix it. At the end, you will be super happy with the results, but you just have to be a bit patient till after the 18th, 20th of October, when Mercury starts moving direct, and it ends all with beautiful aspects to Jupiter. The second part of the month, Mars trine Jupiter on the 20th, 19th, Mercury after that, the Sun as well is trining Jupiter. So there is a lot of support. I think a very good day for you is the 15th, by the way, Cancers, because the Moon is conjoined with the Jupiter. So 14, 15, 16, and it's trine the Sun. If you have something important to do it around the 15th for you, Cancers. I think the music is quite positive, and it will be quite busy but quite exciting. And it all ends for the good. And then towards the end of the month, after the 20th, there is a full moon in your 10th house, Cancers. So the energy shifts from personal matters, home, family. It shifts to career, and you actually career, worldly achievements, reputation. And you kind of bit might disconnect a little bit from family and go more in the public eye, but to receive rewards for something you've done already. If you've been working on some work project, you can see it completed after the full moon, after the 20th. You can feel it, and the full moon is happening opposition Mars, so you might be chasing some deadlines, so it might feel still stressed about those things. But again, because Jupiter is also sending a great aspect to you, to the sun, to the moon, the full moon, a sextile. So despite of the stressful situation, you kind of will shine in your career, or something very pivotal, important, and rewarding happens in regards to your career, in regards to your authority. You might take off the power from the family and build up your authority. It's like some build up that you become more authoritative, and you come into your power because of this full moon in the 10th house of authority and power. So you'll see it first, it will start internally bubbling from this 4th house, and explode after that as you getting more authority, more more recognition even of some sort. But it's not gonna be peaceful, let's say, emotionally. If anything, to disperse that energy here, when it's Mars, Mercury, the moon, the sun, most of the month, where you can feel stressful with family responsibility, things that you're doing there, do something active with them. It's like, even if you're not building a house or moving somewhere, go out with your family to do something together as a unit with extended family, organize something with them that is more active, move furniture around, ask the kids to help you in the garden, or do something more physical or hands-on. Mars is physical, Mercury is hands-on, with your near dear one, or in your home if you're a single person who lives alone. The stresses with loved or close ones, so even nothing like that, people, it's just, you might feel just more anxious because Mars Mercury conjunction in your 4th house of feelings the whole month, restlessness. Do something around the house, do your garden, clean furniture, all of those things. Some of you might change property this month, some of you might sell, buy, especially after the 18th. It becomes easier and easier. And then we have 2 huge other events happening. Jupiter and Saturn are turning direct. For the last 5 months almost, Jupiter and Saturn were retrograde, 3-4 months maybe. So you might have felt that the things have slowed down a lot in certain areas of life. Maybe even there was a bit of a test, because Jupiter rules so many things in your horoscope. It rules the 6th house of work and health, so there might have been delays and blockages. It rules also your 9th house, travel, foreign countries, spiritual work, learning, teaching. It might have been learning, teaching, and matters connected to foreign countries, so to higher knowledge. You might have put extra efforts there, and you're going to start seeing after the 18th, when Jupiter turns direct, improvement in those areas. Things will start moving ahead. Or there might have been some delays with relocating to foreign country, or papers for foreign country, or papers for visas and things like that. Well, Jupiter turns direct, it rules your 9th house. Things can start moving ahead then. And of course, Saturn is turning direct. It rules your 7th house. If there were some complications in relationships, in contracts, Saturn turns direct on the 11th. But to start feeling it's positive, around the 11th, there can be a big turnaround in matters connected to your 7th house. So Mercury, Saturn, and Jupiter turning direct, they rule 6 houses out of 12 in your horoscope. So 6 areas of life out of 12 will start improving and becoming easier without delays and complications. So Saturn also rules your 8th house, where Saturn and Jupiter are both turning direct. Probably where you'll feel the biggest relief is on some financial matter, because 8th house is a financial house, especially connected to money coming to you from others, money owed to you from others, alimonies, taxes. If there was some burden or some delays with taxes, with insurances or inheritances, you can see a very powerful turnaround for the positive things moving ahead. Or money that you expect from others, it might be from clients or whatever. You can start seeing and especially if you've been putting efforts in such directions over the last few months, if you've been really doing your best to, to create money through partnerships, through others, so in investments and stuff like that. If you have, you're gonna might see like a big profit from certain investments that have been stalling back. My husband is strongly invested in the stock market, and he's like, what the hell is happening? Things are like stuck. Well, when these two planets turn in the eighth house, those of you who have investments or invested in something, they can start seeing payback, or they can start seeing improvement or raising of those investments. um, or if you're just mutual finances, if you're complicated your mutual finances with your spouse, for example, in the last 4 months, 3 months, I haven't worked almost, so money is not been coming, and in October I'm already starting to work. Oh no, someone started drilling there. I'm already starting to work, so uh, our mutual finances will improve again. So there we go, Cancer. This is the most important matters. Another thing is that Venus, around the beginning of the month, around the 11th, will conjunct the South Node. And it's not a big deal, it's in your sixth house, but this is a good time to give up, because South Node is give up some kind of a sweets or certain heavier, richer foods, because it's in the sixth house of health, to let go of them, because South Node allows us to let go of Venusian things that are affecting your health negatively. So maybe with food or whatever. So this whole month is good for that, especially the beginning of the month. And yeah, there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to hear your specific transits, like no one else in the world will have the same transit like you can go to my transit calendar every 6-7 days. It renews itself, so you see the next 6-7 days, and you click on each transit you have, and you can read for free what it means for you, how the day will be, how long the transit is, which one is the most important one out of a few transits you're having. There is nothing like that available on the internet, and it's for free for you. And 50,000 people are using it already, so hope you can, I'm sure you can benefit it. Many people are kind of using it as a daily clock almost. Thank you, Cancers. And yes, you'll be dealing with one of your favorite topics, which is family and home, in the coming month.